Hey guys and gals, welcome back to another episode of Around the Fire. Today, I was watching some YouTube videos, and you may have seen some stuff I posted before. I want to give credit where it's due to Guns and Gadgets. Really good news, especially 2A news update information over there. If you don't follow them, you should. But a lot of people have been talking about this pistol brace ban. And I wanted to bring that information to you, my customers, directly in a little bit more plain language speak, because a lot of this stuff is, being delivered in little pieces. A lot of it's like legal updates and stuff like that. And a lot of people are just kind of trying to figure out, like, what does this mean? What does this mean for me? So, AR-15 pistol brace, not just AR-15, pistol brace ban. Pistol brace bullshit. What does it mean? Okay, so some of you are familiar with this, some of you are not, but obviously Biden and his administration, they're really pushing this pistol brace ban shit with the ATF, and the ATF already knows it can't make laws. The Supreme Court's told it can't make laws, but it's not going to prevent them under this administration to try and continue to make laws. Yeah, that's really a good way to spend our tax dollars. But what does it mean? Okay, so this here is an AR-15 pistol. These are the kind of guns that are going to fall under jurisdictional issue here. Now, this particular model has nothing on the end except a buffer tube that's just required for this gun to function. Now, under the ATF's current checklist, this gun is still a pistol. This gun shouldn't even cause you an issue as long as it has this plain sort of tube on it. And yeah, that's just the way you keep it, you're fine. Okay, now moving on. Now this is a different firearm altogether. This is an AK-47. Now this is an AK-47 pistol from Zasva, right? But this has your brace on it, right? Now this is where they're taking issue because they're saying, even though this has been legal all along, and they know it's legal all along, and they've made many, many different statements about how it's legal to use it for this or not legal to use it for that. You can shoulder it, you can't shoulder it, which is all incriminating bullshit to begin with, because how can you make a legal comment on something that is illegal telling us how it's legal to use this way? That's just already incriminating. And I hope that does come out in these lawsuits. But as I was saying, this is the issue, right? They're going to make you take this off, right? And you'll say, hey, Andy, well, that's easy, right? I just, go and take the guy and I just slide him off, right? It's not a big deal. It's just, boop, comes right off, right? Nope. As long as it's easily affixed, according to the definition back on the firearm, which means this adjustable tube here, that's got to go. That's got to turn into basically one of those featureless tubes like that guy. Or more pertinently, I suppose in the case of this firearm here, you would just detach the entire adapter and turn it back into a little shorty boy. Now, that's what they want you to do. They also say, yada yada language about how, it should be removed and not easily affixed. So people are like, do I have to destroy it? No, do not destroy it. I mean, the pistol brace itself is not illegal. Affixing a pistol brace to the firearm, supposedly under their newest, jurisdictional bullshit, is going to be illegal. So I hope everybody is up to speed on where we're at so far. So how does that affect you, right? Obviously, if you have one, they're trying to push this amnesty period thing. But what's an amnesty period? An amnesty period is where they say you can come in and you can fill out this paperwork and you can tell us what you have because you've been a bad boy and you've broken the law, and you've broken the law, and now we're going to let you slide and, give you a permission slip to have this thing you're not supposed to have. That's not cool, because we were always allowed to have these things, right? They're saying there's, millions and millions of these things in circulation. Millions, not just thousands, millions, okay? That is a lot of Americans. That is a lot of Americans, like I said, that have previously even written into the ATF for clarification on legal use of these things and gotten answers back, which are legal documents, okay, mind you, these are legal documents. And now all of a sudden you're being treated like it was, no. We knew all along. We were just trying to figure out how to work our way into the legal destruction of these things or what have you. So like I said, how does it affect you? Right now, it doesn't. And now I'm not a lawyer. You do what you do what you want. This is not legal advice. This is just me talking to you plain Jane here, okay? Now, why do I say it doesn't affect you? No, I say this because I think the right thing for everyone to do is basically nothing, right, in this sort of situation. There's going to be a ton of cases that are going to be hitting the court system, including the Supreme Court, right, that are going to be dealing with this. And it's going to get smacked out of the way. There's no precedents set, especially with the current situation in the Supreme Court and the way things have been going in gun cases, and involving text history and tradition via the Bruin decision. If you followed that at all, it's a previous case that set a precedent, a legal precedent that now has to be followed. That there's no regulation from the ATF that's legal to define, redefine firearms, etc. They just can't do this. They've been told repeatedly, you can't do this, it's not legal. You have to follow text history and tradition of the country. And this already was allowed. This was already perfectly legal in the country. You've made that perfectly clear to the people of this country that was illegal. So I say do nothing. Now, if you want, take it off. Take it off, play it safe. It's a pistol. No big deal. You just put your stuff away in a box in the garage for now, the stock pieces, whatever, the brace pieces, the adjustable bits, do not destroy anything. Do not turn it over to the ATF. Do not throw it away. Why would you? At this point, you haven't committed any crime. I wouldn't bother applying for the amnesty because I feel like the amnesty is a potential trap or just record keeping sort of thing. They're asking you to basically apply, which is the same thing as applying for a like Form 1 sort of thing. You'd be giving them all the information on the firearm, all your information. You'd be giving them photos of the firearm, and etc. And in that case, if they did decide in some way, shape, or form to be manipulative and say that you broke the law because they are a government agency and they do have more power than you and I do, they take you to court, they drag you to court, they search and seize, they do whatever, right? They just give you a hard time. And then what legal recourse do you have? Pretty much none, because of government immunity. Most government agencies, when acting on behalf of their agency on what they believe is right, and not deliberately causing harm to you as a person, they have government immunity. You would have no legal recourse on any way against them, okay? So where does that really leave us? Well, up shit's creek, right? It's a bad situation, but it's a stupid situation, and it's another complete government waste of time. This isn't going to go through. Well, it'll go through. I guess that's not the right way of saying it. It'll go through just like the ATF put through the pistol frames and receivers crap, and then it's going to get smacked right out of their hands, and they're going to fumble it around in other courts, continuing to waste taxpayer dollars. But that's exactly what's going to happen. It's going to go, in my opinion, nowhere. But like I said, I'm not a lawyer. It's just, it sucks a lot that people are going to suffer for this, because some will, for there to be cases that go to court that change these laws, someone has to have been picked up and charges filed against them for this person to turn around and file, countersuit and things like that to defend themselves, to set a legal precedence. And that's just unfortunate that is the direction that this country is headed in right now. I love guns. All of you love guns. I support, legal gun ownership. I do not support committing crimes. I do not support everybody, having, dropping auto sears in their closet. You know what I mean? There's a right way to do everything. And I think that, as gun owners, most of us try to set that precedence, because we know a few bad apples can ruin the whole bunch. And, for the responsible gun owner, this is even more frustrating. You know what I mean? Just because, we've always tried to follow the rules. If you knew about pistols and stuff, you knew. If you didn't know about pistols and stuff when it came to like rifle caliber, we'll call them, rifle caliber type pistols, You know, you always knew, at least most people did, that you couldn't affix like a vertical foregrip because then it became like an AOW or an SBR. They just had arbitrary, really strange little rules that served no purpose and were there to cause harm and trouble. You know what I mean? To make life more difficult for the honest gun owner. You know, the typical scary feature things that made a gun more deadly or whatever, right? And that's all this is. Again, this is just another show. You know, these guns now are considered, you know, more deadly. You know, I don't disagree with that idea that a rifle caliber pistol is more deadly than a like 9mm single stack, right? You know, you have a lot more rounds to throw down range. You have a lot more higher powered rounds to throw down range. But that doesn't change the fact that it's completely legal to own. It's completely legal to carry. And responsibly, that's always been something that has been, you know, in the text, history, and tradition of our country. You know, having a higher powered weapon did not make it illegal. You know, having a 45 long Colt, you know, did not get you put out on the sidelines saying, "Oh no, man, you can't compete in this this shootout competition or whatever," because, you know, even though we're all killing each other when the bell strikes noon or whatever on the Texas streets here, old Western style thing, your gun's too big, man. We can't even fuck with you. You know, you gotta go sit over there. But yeah, so I guess you kind of get where I'm coming from. And like I said, just trying to put it into like the plainest language, in the simplest language possible. That's all it really is they're saying, you know, they had the checklist. They're saying they're going to get rid of the checklist. They're saying they're going to modify the checklist. And I've said from the beginning, they're never going to remove the checklist thing. The checklist was there on purpose to make you fail. If you're familiar with this like worksheet, you can Google it. It's the SBR, ATF SBR worksheet, or SBR pistol brace worksheet. If you get 4 points or more on this worksheet, you've got an SBR. So just about every gun sold in the past 15 years or more that fell into that area is going to be an SBR in their opinion. And this is just like a bait and switch bullshit trap. They want $200 tax stamps from everyone. They want everything put onto a registry. Because they can't get another registry, which they already have anyway. Let's face it, these things are all registries. You got stateside registries here in Michigan with like the pistols when you turn them into the police department. You've got all your 4473s that we are now required to keep forever. We used to only have to keep them for 20 years, but we're now required by the ATF to keep them forever. So all that stuff, that's a registry, man. It's a registry. You know, is it a searchable registry? Absolutely, because every time they come in here and do an inspection, they sit there and they search through the entire registry. They'll find whatever they want. They've usually got a printout actually of things that they want to find, and they'll go look through there to make sure they're all there and get whatever information off those pieces of paper they want. So, like I said, it's all baloney, but thankfully, right now, you know, we're seeing a lot of that stuff change, and it's really good. Even though some people are like really crushed over the midterms, a lot of good has come these past few years with the Supreme Court. Believe it or not, having like blue people in charge that are trying to send so much bullshit down the pipe has kind of helped out, because these are hitting Supreme Court that's pretty conservative right now, and they are following suit by saying, you know, hey, you know, this is the legal precedence. This is what you got to do. You know, a couple for instances, whether you agree with them or not, you know, like right now, they said that even if you're on a restraining order, it does not prevent you from owning a firearm and possessing a firearm. You know, like just because someone put you on a restraining order does not mean that you lose your rights as an American. If you come out of prison and you were a felon, you know, and you've had your rights restored to you, you are no longer a prohibited person. You have had your legal rights. You've served your time. You're allowed to have a firearm. You know, does everybody agree with all those ideas? Nah, I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of gun owners that don't even agree with all those ideas, but, you know, text, history, and tradition, right? You know, it's got to be done right. It's got to be done right, and it's got to be done to the letter of the Constitution. And, you know, at least we have a Supreme Court right now that's really, really following that. So there's a lot of hope there, okay? So I hope this helped. I realize this is a little long-winded. I did not intend that. We're at like 15 minutes right now and recording it. I'll probably edit that down a little bit. But you know what I mean? I just wanted to reach out to you guys, tell people not to worry. You know, you got to look at it this way. If Kalashnikov USA, Radical Firearms, SIG, and all these other companies are still putting out pistols and rifle caliber pistols, and these are big multi-million-dollar industries, if they're not worried about it, you shouldn't be either. All right, dudes?